and written all over it. Oh, they got a nice little pinwheel on their website. HPB. Oh, perfect. White paper and GitHub links right there. White paper. GitHub. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Enough with Verge. That's what I'm saying, man. Don't buy Verge. If you're holding Verge more than a few minutes, you're not smart. They're going to exit scam so hard. Anyway, the chart of Verge, I mean. Okay. Just making sure. We don't need to research Verge. I just don't trust it. Everything is screaming exit scam with Verge. There's lots of posts about it on Reddit and everywhere else, and yeah. Go read up on it. We're not talking about Verge right now. Unlimited speed of evolution. High performance blockchain is a new combination of hardware and software blockchain architecture. It includes a chip accelerator engine and underlying blockchain platform designed to achieve performance extensions for distributed applications. It is an easy to use high performance blockchain platform. Hey, it is exactly what they say it is. Combining industry depth to meet the business needs of the real world. They're really hitting that name right on the nose then, huh? Chip level acceleration engine. Build a public chain based on hardware accelerator chip drivers. What is that about? Deep integration of hardware and software. The accelerator chip can be highly customized, providing hardware acceleration support for the public chains with performance bottlenecks. HPBX million level concurrent algorithm. Build a DApp ecosystem based on HPB to support scenarios that require high performance blockchain. Co-founders. These guys like to hold their glasses when they take pictures. I don't know who these guys are, but co-founder, CTO, CFO, tech VP, and CEO advisors. Member of Nobel Prize winning team, executive president at UnionPay Smart Consulting. National High Performance Laboratory responsible person. What? He's a responsible person? Okay. Dongfeng Puha Fund president. Is this HPB? Yes, it is. We're doing a deep dive into it right now. Founding partner of Jin Mudan Cultural Fund, OKCoin co-founder, Bbox founder. That's why they're on Bbox, however you pronounce that. Bixen CEO, Transwiser CEO, council member, BTS, GDEX founder, and formerly known as ANS Blockchain. They're partners with Neo. GDEX founder? What? No. GDEX founder. Apparently that's a decentralized exchange that's trying to play off the name of GDEX. Roadmap. HPB project is officially launched in Q1 2017. Set up the core team and establishing the system's architecture. Angel investments join HPB in Q3. Neo, Bixen, and other partners with the first third-party blockchain to support Neo VM. Lol, bunch of scammers. What? Do you think HPB is a scam? Can you give any sources as to why you think it is? I don't know a ton about it, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Great blockchain of China. Q1 2018 HPB testnet is launched. Become open source and the community will be able to test the network. HPB mainnet in Q2 launched in active deeper collaborations within industries. So that's coming in Q2. The price will probably pump before that. Q4 launching industry implementation solution plan. Is that one word? We will collaborate with industry leaders. That's unfair. These guys aren't native English speakers, so we will collaborate with industry leaders on exploring and developing the platform to test the value of HPB with actual businesses. In 2019, HPB final version goes online. Okay. Community contribution. That's crypto fantasy. That's actually a good motto. That's a great stance to take. All new crypto ideas are scams until proven they aren't. That is a great stance to take, honestly. This is a hold for you? Yeah, I've been hearing great things about it, and I just haven't done the research. I don't know a ton about it, so that's what we're doing now. Always got to do the research. Check out open platform. Okay. Announcements. Let's go to FAQ. I like FAQ pages. HPB is an ERC20 token. Will it be replaced with its own coin? It will be replaced with HPB coin after the launch of the mainnet. We will provide the exchange process and the API by then. So we saw Q2. Let's go back to the roadmap. Q2, they're launching mainnet. So I'm guessing they're going to do a token swap event, just like a lot of these other projects are. Yeah, they all just look like video game announcements, like they'll be postponed for years. And this jargon's so boring, it's even worse than contemporary art. And I know about it. It's very true. A lot of this is very, very dry info, but I mean, the thing about doing the research is all of these, even white papers, were designed, they're written, they came up with an idea. They wrote these white papers to basically give the details on how they're going to execute their idea. But until they actually execute, that is all it is an idea. Like, they're going to spend time developing these projects. We have no idea if they can even pull it off, if it's even possible. I mean, it's all just vaporware until this comes out in production, right? But they do have a testnet out. I'm pretty, it said it's Q1. I hope they launched it. And once their mainnet's out, that's even better. Like, once they have a testnet out, you can safely say, okay, this isn't looking like vaporware anymore. They're actually releasing stuff and working on stuff. So it is a great first step to proving that there's something there. Will the results of the testnet be reviewed by an external evaluation party? Yes, we welcome credible external individuals or organizations to test and verify, which I'm guessing HPB project is an open repo on GitHub, so the testnet was updated 2 days ago. Blockchain offload engine updated 6 days ago. BOE hardware design 6 days ago. Go HPB, what is this? There's nothing here. So it's just a placeholder. TCP offload engine and the ICO contracts. Obviously that hasn't been updated in a while. So they got some development in their repos, which is good. How detailed is all this? It is not very detailed. What do you mean? I mean, we're just trying to garner any amount of information we can from their websites, from the white paper, from Reddit and the community and whatnot. I mean, that's all we can do to get our info. Will the testnet and results be publicized? Of course they will. Yes, as HPB is an open source project. Yep. What is the duration of the testnet? Consisted of 2 phases. Right now we are in first phase of the testnet, which will last for a month. What's the second phase? What equipment will be used to form the testnet? Hardware of HBB testnet is mainly consisted of a cloud computing platform and few self-built hardware nodes. The self-built hardware nodes will be equipped with hardware acceleration board for testing. What is the objective of testnet? 2 phases. First test is feasibility, security, and stability of the new network topology and new consensus mechanism, which that's what I always look for too in these projects is what consensus mechanism are they using? Second phase is to test the TPS of the hardware-software combination solution. All right. When will testnet and mainnet launch? That's in the roadmap. I mean, you do a lot of research, yes, but their info. What about their info? I'm not following Mach 6. Look at Med, interesting project, runs on Qtum network. Is that medical chain? I know there's a lot of those out there. I think I've looked at medical chain, and I'm kind of very interested to see what some of these medical coins can do. But that is a hard market to enter, right? Like, the medical industry is so set in their ways, and they have no incentive to change. Like, unless, like, that's what blockchain is good at though, right? Is cutting out middlemen and making it more profitable, incentivized for everyone else involved. And unless someone can come out with a great solution like that for the medical industry and like edge out those basically the people who are making the rules and setting the cost of medical procedures insanely high, including insurance companies. Like, there's so many moving pieces there. Gosh, that's going to be so hard to disrupt. I just can't even imagine how to even start there. Metablock, okay. I think there is incentive. Yeah, I mean, I've only, like I said, I've only done medical chain research, but I know there's so many other medical coins out there that are attacking the problems, because there's tons of problems, let's face it. But yes, the problem always is adoption. Too many different information platforms, right? Sorry, one of the first, and they are actually doing real things now, in my opinion. Metablock, okay. Look at that. Maybe we can check that one out next week. Where do I store HPB? Does HPB have its own wallet? ERC20 token. Mu. They just wrote Mu. I did that too quickly, but Mu. People are going to look at this and be like, WTF is Mu? Like, I mean, we know what Mu is, but come on. This is a frequently asked question page on your professional website. Give a little more letters in your answer, please. Dude, I like this sexy saxophone music. Which exchange is HPB listed on? We saw that white paper mentions a GXN token. However, I can only see an HPB token. Which is the real one? GXN token was renamed to HPB. There is only one token. HBB, no proof of work coin, and a fancy website that is promising moon and sun in an ocean of ICO cryptocurrencies. 1563 tokens and coins ready to take your money, and after to go in holiday with your money. Not following what you're trying to say there. Are you saying this is a scam? There's a lot of projects that want your money. This is poor translation too. Half is in English, half is in Korean. Is this no, this is Chinese, right? HBB, yeah. The Chinese project. Anyway, let's get into the white paper. HPB non-technical white paper. Where's the technical white paper? Are they working on that? Like pitches for investors, but a bit less credible. To me, those are ICO and pre-marketing coins are just, to me, those are just marketing attempts. Yeah, well, like, I just view ICOs in general. It's like it's Kickstarter, man. Like, I personally have no interest in investing in any ICOs. I want to wait till the coin hits the market and the market decides what the value of that coin is or should be. Before the market decides what the price is, it's up to the company. They decide what the price is, and it's to their best interest to set the price as high as possible, as high as they think they can get away with. And that price point will then just set that up in your mind forever. Like, whatever the price of that coin is at during ICO, the market then can decide whether, yeah, it's worth that, or no, it's not. And 9 times out of 10, the price drops below ICO prices after it hits the market for a while. So, and then they just got to build it out. And while they're building it out, there's no hype. It's hard to keep the hype up while they're deep in development. So that's when the price tanks. Just bleeds out over time. Everyone who believed in it in the ICO is just like, well, I'm just watching the price go down and down and down. And, you know, there are no strong hands in an ICO coin. Like, everyone, it's pure speculation. Like Bitcoin at least has been proven over the 9 years that it's been out. Proof of work works. It's not perfect, but it works. There is nothing to keep your hand strong in an ICO coin that just came out on markets. So you're going to watch that price just bleed out while they're developing it and trying to get something out to market. But we can still do our research and follow roadmaps, pick our entry points along the way, entry and exit points. Because anytime a release comes out, a coin will pump, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news, happens every time. But you can also take, you know, once you think a coin has reached the bottom, that's where, you know, that's where you invest for a long-term hold. Like, I don't see it going below this price. That's where you invest and just hold and forget about it. Then the ups and downs don't matter anymore because you bought the bottom, or you hope you did anyway. But Yeah. Still got to do the research though. They do talk about their consensus algorithm. And let's just start skimming through this. High performance blockchain, new approach to solving one of the most critical problems facing all blockchains today, scaling. Low transaction speeds and excessive latency plague blockchain networks around the world, preventing widespread practical adoption by businesses and consumers. The more I read their stuff, the less I find even one I want to believe in. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's so many projects out there to sift through. Trying to find the winners is tough. And, you know, it's going to be like the 80-20 rule. Like, right now, there's like over 1,500 coins on the market. 80% of them are going to go away. We're going to see that, like, that last 20% is going to get all of the money of the market flowing into it at some point. And they're, you know, all those failed projects are going to disappear. And like, and I don't say like 80% of them are shit coins by any means either. Like, there's a lot of promising tech out there that'll just fail because they can't launch. They can't get it off the ground. It doesn't get any movement. They market horribly. You know, nothing comes of it. They lose funding, whatever happens. There's gonna be a million reasons why these coins fail, but you know, it's just like the .com bubble. All those websites failed, and all that money flowed into the ones that were real. The Amazons, the Googles, the Apples, like those are the ones that survived the .com bubble. And yes, marketing is key. And we just read a post today on the cryptocurrency subreddit. It was a really great post about how the interface is the product. And that's, you know, right now everyone's worried about like building out scalability and transactions and whatnot, which is important, but mass adoption comes when grandma can use it, right? Like that's why Coinbase is so popular. If grandma can go on there and buy a Bitcoin, then great. But, you know, grandma can't use high performance blockchain by any means. I don't know what their product is yet, or even if they have anything, but all they have is a testnet, but just as an example. Well, why waste time on this? You do this for fun. I love learning, man. And yeah, it's fun for me. I love researching. I love to know about all these projects because, you know, I want to find the Googles and the Amazons. That's why we do the research. Because when all of the, you know, when the bubble bursts, there will still be coins left standing, and we want to find the ones that are still around. Yep, it's like being on the stock market before you even exist. Convenient. Like your analogy to Kickstarter, ICOs are Kickstarters for former online poker players. So true. Have I seen Zero? Is that Zero Chain? I have not seen that one. Research credits next. That one's been asked about quite a few times too. I think we're probably just gonna have time for HPB today. I generally get through one per guest spot, but I have been toying with the idea of doing some more guest spots during the week, so we'll see. Low transaction speeds and excessive latency plague blockchain networks around the world, preventing widespread practical adoption by businesses and consumers. HBP will solve this problem and meet true business needs by creating a platform designed to handle millions of transactions per second. Asterisk. Where's the asterisk? It will consist of both hardware and software architecture, placing it ahead of current platforms which seek to solve the same problem through software-only solutions. With a target of 1 million TPS and a 3-second confirmation time, HPB aims to become the standard for all major business applications in industries that require handling of billions of data points with extremely low latency. Saw a great tweet today along the lines of, until you have a 12-pack of beer and update your Trezor, we're still in infancy of the tech. That is so true. Dude, that's why I'm waiting. I do have a Ledger hardware wallet just because I bought it on sale during Black Friday. I got the thing and I'm just like, this is seriously what hardware wallets are right now? This thing is so inconvenient to use. This thing sucks. I haven't taken it out of the box since. I took it out, played with it for like half an hour. I was like, this is terrible, and put it away. Dude, that needs to get way better before we see mass adoption. It is such a pain in the butt to use a hardware wallet right now. But it'll get there. That's just iteration 1, right? Still the early days. Industrial background, we know what blockchain is. Current status, we know what the current status is. Design concept, new blockchain architecture, positioned as an easy-to-use, high-performance blockchain platform. It aims to extend the performance of distributed applications to meet real-world business needs. Software architecture provides accounts, identity and authorization management, policy management, databases, and asynchronous communication on thousands of CPUs, FPGAs, or clustered program schedules. This is a new architecture that can support millions of transactions per second and support authorization within seconds. Should be another asterisk there. Like, it's not out yet. It's just a concept. All we have is a testnet. Glad I never bought one. I mean, they are definitely the most secure way to store your coins, don't get me wrong, but man, are they a pain in the butt to use. Exactly. It just keeps the funds secure for now. That's all it is good for. Like, if you're trying to like access it every day, you're going to have a bad time. Like, just put your coins on there and store it in a safe place. But man, if they want us to like use those every day in the real world, it's just not there yet. I mean, it's not meant for that yet. It's really not. It's meant for long-term storage and security. Some of the impression that the team behind Polymath is from India, given the latest negative news from RBI. Why is Polymath up today? I did not see that they were up today. But yeah, I think that RBI was more just FUD. There is a movement, a petition going around to combat that RBI news. And I mean, it is a big bank in India for sure, but it's not the end all be all. Like, they're not banning cryptocurrencies as a whole in India. It's one giant bank that's behind that. And it got listed on Bittrex today, so that'd be why. Good info. Okay, yeah, I want to see this. As shown above, the architecture consists of two parts: hardware architecture and software architecture, which is a fusion of the HPC, high-performance computing blockchain concept, cloud computing hardware systems with distributed core nodes, a HPC-powered universal communication network, and a HPC-powered cloud platform. I'm reading this and I just see like a lot of buzzwords they're throwing out. Like, we're just throwing every crazy awesome tech we can at this and see what sticks. In addition to network management, the architecture supports core node blockchain standards and consensus algorithm and blockchain task processing functions. Core node includes a hardware acceleration engine embedded with software. Neat. Technology overview, BOE. For traditional blockchain nodes, functions such as transaction block broadcasting, transaction verification, block broadcasting, and block packaging are all implemented on the software level. The data connection between each node is a serial process, resulting in problems such as complex network topology, long delay time, and low serial processing performance. In response to the above problems, HPB created a new technological innovation, blockchain offload engine. The BOE is a heterogeneous processing system, including hardware, firmware, and corresponding matching software. To achieve high performance and high concurrency computing acceleration, this heterogeneous processing system combines CPU serial capabilities and parallel processing capabilities of FPGA ASIC chips. So they are going to implement ASICs, huh? In their hardware. Interesting. ARM. Okay. Look at Hedera hash graph. If you haven't seen it already, it's not blockchain, but has the same functionality. New tech. Yeah, I've heard of hash graphs. Chips and cereal. Super cereal. BOE board chart, ECDSA acceleration. Every transaction and block broadcast in the network requires a signing and verification process. ECDSA, the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, is currently the most mature and widely used digital signature algorithm in the industry. However, pure software implementation methods are limited to thousands of verifications per second on general computing platforms, which is far from high performance requirements. BOE acceleration engine with the embedded ECDSA module will significantly improve the signature verification speed, aimed towards verifying millions of signatures per second. So does this make this completely centralized then? Are they running their own hardware to process this? And that's what I'm hearing here. Like, if they're running the hardware for this, Doesn't that just make it extremely centralized? Or they expect like all the nodes to run this hardware, in which case also remains centralized. People aren't going to buy the hardware for this unless there's a major incentive to. Hardware random number generator, data fragmentation, net performance. In the HBP network, one of the conditions to become a high contribution node is to provide network bandwidth to the ecosystem, to the system. BOE technology is based on the hardware level to achieve node connection traffic statistics. Through BOE technology, the consensus algorithm can calculate the network bandwidth data provided by a certain node. Concurrency. BOE acceleration engine can achieve considerable concurrency connections while maintaining support for more than 10,000 simultaneous TCP sessions and processing 10,000 sessions in parallel. Okay. To meet BOE technology's requirements and simultaneously improve the secure TPS, the HBP consensus algorithm adopts an efficient two-tier election mechanism, namely outer elections and inner elections. Outer elections, adoption of node contribution evaluation indicator and select high contribution node members from a multitude of candidate nodes. Inner elections, based on the anonymous voting mechanisms of hash queues, the priority of high contribution node generated blocks is calculated at each block generation. And high contribution nodes with high priority have the right to generate blocks first. Okay. So just like a voting and consensus for their consensus mechanism. Thanks to the lightweight message exchange mechanism, the consensus efficiency of a HBP consensus algorithm is far higher than others. At the same time, it also greatly improves security and privacy, or so they say. Outer election phase is used to select high contribution nodes from a large number of candidate nodes. To minimize network synchronization and make full use of the data of each node on the chain, an innovative, adaptive, consistent election plan is adopted. The account consistency guarantees the consistency of the outer election. As shown in the figure on the next page, each evaluation indicator is built into the block. Under the precondition of past account consistency, each high contribution node can adaptively calculate the ranking of all currently participating candidate nodes. A higher ranked candidate node will formally become a high contribution node in the next round. Is that where you get extra incentives? What's the incentivization here? I'd like to read about that. Inner election. According to the design of the HBP consensus algorithm, the inner election is based on the high contribution nodes. The goal is to efficiently find out the corresponding high contribution node for each block, which includes 3 stages: nomination stage, statistical stage, and computing stage. We don't need to read all that. What's the incentive to be those? HBP consensus algorithm plan provides strict privacy. Before the block is packaged, the current node cannot predict the node that generates the next block and takes into account the security verification of high contribution nodes. Application services, APIs, SDKs, smart contracts, general virtual machine mechanism, Ethereum virtual machine, Neo virtual machine. So are they implementing both of those? EVM has been the most popular solution for existing smart contracts and can also be used on HBP. Nice. Neo VM is actively being used for enterprise-level finance solutions in other industries. They can interact with HBP with only small adaptations. Okay. It's good that they're adding support for Neo and Ethereum's virtual machines. Smart contract lifecycle management, auditing, template. System management. HBP's technology adopts a combination of software and hardware. The system architecture can be divided into 4 levels: hardware layer, hardware abstraction layers, middle layers, and implementation layers. Software and hardware versions of each layer need to be compatible with each other. With regard to the complexity of the system, HBP provides system upgrade services. Through simple command operations, various levels of compatibility checks, automatic downloads, automatic upgrades, and automatic deployments can be implemented. Sounds like you're definitely going to have to run some proprietary hardware if you plan to be a node in this. System monitoring. Token introduction. Total supply 100 million. Based on the HBP consensus algorithm, a high contribution node, HC node, has the right to generate a block. 3 necessary conditions for becoming a high contribution node are: adopt BOE hardware acceleration engine. So buy the hardware. Hold a certain number of HBP tokens. Contribute to the necessary network bandwidth for the entire system. It's kind of crazy that they're thinking that people are going to spend the money on proprietary hardware for this. I mean, I don't know what the cost of the hardware is. Maybe they have like a nice little package you can buy. Maybe that's part of their model too of making money, selling this hardware to people. But man, that's a high barrier for entry. After HBP launches its mainnet, the high contribution node that generates the block will receive HBP coin rewards automatically issued by the system. The additional number of coin reward issued annually by the system is proportional to the total number of high contribution nodes and candidate nodes. Number of additional issuances does not exceed 6% per year. Doesn't ZEM require a lot? Enter. What do you mean? Like a lot of coins to enter? Like to be a node? Or on the voters? I'm sure it has some kind of requirement. Are we dumping? Dumpy. Oh, yeah, is it 1 million to be a node? Probably. I don't remember ZEM specifically, but a lot of blockchains do have requirements to become like, one of the consensus nodes. Has most of the rights for discovering blocks and whatnot. Token allocation. Current circulating supplies, 28%. What was available for ICO? Community ICO refunded tokens? ICO refunded tokens remain locked after People's Bank of China issued the announcement on prevention of financing risks of token issuance on September 4th, 2017. Okay. 1 million sells, 3 million sell. Jeez.
Well, this is great.
Woo! Yeah. It's going down.
What movement? There were 6 1 mil sells.
Wow.
Like one after another, and then after all that, there was a 1 3 mil sell. I honestly didn't expect like it to just stop there and then bounce. Like that was pretty strong. Holy.
Is going down. Yeah, what's the next line of support?
Oh, it totally bounced off that bottom trend line.
Who drew this?
I think this is the line of support. 66.50.
Giraffe.
It is, yeah, on my chart on
Winklevoss Twins making a trade move.
I just realized that. I was looking at my other chart.
Smart big data. They're listening to the design concept of HBP. China's largest financial data company, UnionPay Smart, has established a partnership with HBP. As a part of UnionPay Smart is specialized in big data innovation business and currently handles 80% of China's banking transaction data, an annual turnover of 80 trillion yuan. So they got a big partnership there with UnionPay. Common goal of technological practice and exploration of big financial data and high-performance blockchains, HBP is currently collaborating with UnionPay on certification and traceability of big data. Tentative launch time for this project is Q3 2018. So I would expect the price to go up in Q3. Gaming, virtual currencies and items. Global gaming market reached 109 billion in 2017. Free-to-play games, the online gaming business generally consists of 2 types. Virtual game products are provided by a centralized service provider. If virtual in-game commodities and assets are stored in the blockchain, encrypted digital currency such as HPB replaces virtual in-game currencies. Virtual in-game products can then be conveniently transacted between players without the need of a centralized game publisher or centralized organizations such as Google Play or Apple Store. So they're competing with Engine now? What they're saying? Digital assets on the blockchain? At the same time, decentralized virtual game currencies and the sharing of the ledger transaction flow can introduce real-world scarcity to virtual world assets, thus introduce real-world value. Yeah. Sounds like chat's more interested in seeing BTC movement. So if someone want to take over and look at some charts, I'm not the chart guy. Seat belts on, we're going down. Back to 6666. No, we went below it.
Nah, support held
Did it?
for now.
All right, that's good.
Look at the volume spike. Exact same amount of volume that brought us down.
Yeah, it bounced pretty good.
Well, it's in a process. It depends like where the candle will close.
Yeah,
And still fall.
yeah, another big red one forming now on Bitfinex. Been waiting the whole day.
If this doesn't hold, this is some very bearish scenario. This support not holding brings us into the next support of 65.58. This is essentially the last support before the like this is a cancellation of the up move. So one-to-one retracement cancels out an up move and opens up doors for the continuation of the bear trend. If bulls want to hold this, like if bulls want to reverse trend on Bitcoin, this is the level to hold.
Hold.
We are now perfectly at 618 fib. Oh, sorry, 786 fib.
Rip the corn. All right, let's finish up HPB. There's not much left here. And we can get to back to the TAs. Anti-counterfeit traceability, summary and outlook. Throughout the HBP design process, we thank not only the work of HBP team, it's nothing. That's the end of the white paper. Read the subreddit. They usually got good info on the subreddit. Only 538 subs here. Wow. For as hyped as HPB has been, I'm surprised that there's only 538 subscribers to the subreddit. Read the Q&A real quick. Just Reddit collect questions for the Q&A. That was just an AMA, I guess. I like it when subreddits have like a sticky post of come here to find out pretty much everything we know so far. HPB fundamental analysis, scaling solution enabling high transactions per second low latency. from BitShouts. Q&A in text format. Yeah. Testnet technical analysis. Thoughts on current price surge from 2 days ago? Well, it's corrected down now. Anyway, high performance blockchain. I'd like to know more about the hardware that you need to run this. Doesn't seem like they've answered that, not even in their frequently asked questions. Website redesign, one will testnet, yeah. Can I search in English? Hardware. What equipment will be used to form the testnet? What was the objective? Testnet AMA. Yeah. Anyway, I'm a little on the fence about this. I'd like to find out more information about the hardware necessary to run this, but I mean, it sounds like an interesting project, and a lot of people have been asking about it. There's been a lot of hype around this project. But yeah, the price is definitely down lower now that most of the hype is left in the last, it launched early January, which was really bad timing for a project to launch. Launched at the start of a bear market. But yeah, I mean, this prices look pretty enticing. I don't know if it'll go lower based on their roadmap. Next launch is Q2, so once they launch mainnet, it'll probably pump a little bit. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in HPB. Get in touch with the Telegram or whatever else there is to get information on when that'll come out. But yeah, I don't know. The fact that you need a proprietary hardware to run this and verify seems kind of weird to me. It's very interesting, but that's also one of the strengths. Like, they can verify blocks and have near instant transactions and low fees and everything else that comes with that because of it. So I guess if we can get adoption for the hardware, then yeah, it might take off. But there's another one that needs tons of adoption to do anything, really. And too early to tell for me. Like, a lot of people ask about this coin a lot, but I see that onboard to adoption of the hardware is just going to be massive. If they don't get a ton of people adopting it, it's going to be very centralized. Which, I mean, a lot of the top 10 coins are centralized right now, so decentralization will come with time. Yeah, exactly. Hardware adoption won't fly. That's how I see it too. Like, that's just a huge mountain to climb. VHS beta, something always dies. Laserdisc, yeah. Proprietary hardware for verifying blocks does not sound great in my mind, but we'll see. Like, again, too early for me, but we'll see.
That's why I don't like ASICs as well. That's why I support GPU mining. Exactly.
I mean, that's a huge pain point for Ethereum right now. Like, the Ethereum core devs had a meeting this weekend saying that they're not going to hard fork to prevent ASIC mining with Casper 5 months down the road, that they said they'll take care of it. And I was like, and the whole community is furious about it. Like, they're not listening to what we're saying. And that's a problem.
I'm going to change my miners from Ethereum to XMR like tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone's doing. Like, you look at whattomine.com right now, because Monero forked to prevent ASIC mining, it's now 2 times as much profit to mine Monero than it is Ethereum. Where do you think all those miners are going to go?
Yep.
So they're shooting themselves in the foot.
It's not a problem for Ethereum net, because as long as they support ASICs will just take up the load.
Right, and it becomes extremely centralized, and that's a problem. I mean, but they don't seem to care about it. Vitalik himself has come out and said, like, the ASICs they have are only 2.5 times more efficient than GPUs, which, isn't a huge deal, I guess, but a lot of people have an issue with it.
Did you see what happened with Monero mining? As soon as the fork happened, Net's calculating power dropped 85%.
Right, and like, we've been seeing that on Ethereum. The hash rate has gone insane the last few months. Like, you bet that Bitmain has been using that hardware well before it. So it's been an issue for sure.
Just like people who are mining, just compare how much Ethereum you were mining from last summer. Just think about it.
Right. But yeah, House of Dog, as you said, what if an ASIC can pay itself off? Why not go with an ASIC? But it's like, yeah, like if you can just buy the hardware, it'll pay itself off within a month or however long it takes to see those profits. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But like I made this analogy the other day, is like they keep coming out with these ASICs, and they, basically leave everyone else who's GPU mining in the dust. It's like there's no way you can compete. Sleeping Streets, why am I almost never streaming anymore on my channel? Twitch streams more deep dive crypto coins. Last week was spring break. I spent with my son. This week I'm back to normal streaming schedule. So I'm back to normal schedule this week. Sleeping Streets. But I made this analogy about ASICs. It's like steroids and performance enhancing drugs in the Olympics. It's like these people try to get away with it so they can outperform everyone else and have an edge in the market. But at the same time, it's like they're leaving everyone else in the dust. Why not just, if we could all agree to have an equal playing field and decentralize the hell out of it, and have an algorithm that prevents ASICs, so it will it'll force it to be an equal playing field. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, why give anyone else an advantage over anyone else? Let's just keep it.
It's actually more favorable to have a decentralized network with GPUs, and the reason for that will be like, let me put it this way. Because every single coin has to compete for mining power if it's mining with GPUs. So
Right.
when you have a GPU mining, you can mine like 10 different coins. So every coin is essentially competing with for your hash power. Assume that you need some kind of bigger calculation on your network. You can just have that happen, You increase the profitability and your network will get more miners because of it.
Right.
And if you are thinking about buying ASICs, just think about how much. Right now there is a campaign going on from the, I think, what was that seller of the Monero ASICs, and campaign is like buy one ASIC get 5.
Yeah. Because they're worthless now.
Yep, they are paperweight.
But that's the thing. Bitmain made the announcement that they're selling them because they know that they're probably going to be obsolete soon, and they made their money while they could.
Yeah,
and
they were
gonna
mining on it. It's clear that they were mining on it. Now that network hash rate dropped, you can see that like how much mining they provided.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a clear vision of what they did. But yeah, now they've like made the announcement they're selling it, so they can offload it to people, knowing that since they made the announcement, they're betting that there will be a fork to prevent the ASIC miners, which now it has come out that there won't be a fork to prevent them. So yeah, they're still good up until Casper, and even then, Casper is still going to be a hybrid network for a long time. It's only going to be 10% proof of stake, so those will still work for a while. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The whole ASICs debate is like people hate that they can't just use their GPUs that they paid for to mine and be profitable, and I agree. Like, that helps it be less centralized. People can make money doing it. Why wouldn't you do it? Like, let's not use ASICs. They suck. They become obsolete. They're only good for that one thing. It's a waste. Anyway.
Yep. And put it this way, like for people who are mining for profitability, it doesn't really matter what you buy. Like, for example, when I was investing in GPU mining and bought 3 farms, I could have just as easily bought ASICs. It was my choice to buy GPU farms instead of ASICs. Right.
Because then those are, good for a lot longer. Yeah, they're less efficient, but, your investment will last a lot longer with those.
Yep, because I can switch just like now. Right now, it's what paying off. Because I'm like, for example, if I had Ethereum ASICs, they would be worth like or Monero ASICs. Any moment, network can just take them away from me.
Yep, exactly.
I'm just gonna swap to whatever coin is most profitable. Very simple.
Yeah, that's why GPUs make sense. Let's stick with that. But Yeah, we'll see what happens with Ethereum. I'm a little wary of it. It's definitely my one concern right now. Like you guys who know me, like I hype on Ethereum. Like I think it's the year of the platform. I think it's Ethereum's year this year. It's got a lot of hype. It's got a lot of projects being developed for it. They just got to solve scalability.
CP23 just mentioned botnets. Botnets are actually a very small percentage. The reason people talked about botnets was because hash rate started growing on Monero after Monero fork very fast. So what you saw is a drop in hash rate on 85%. And now hash rate is climbing like super fast and soon will be at previous levels. And they are saying that the reason for that was botnets because it takes a while to update botnet to a newer algorithm. So it will mine it. That is not correct, because the reason hash rate is growing so fast is because it's more profitable to mine the coin. So people are actually swapping from mining other coins to mining Monero. That's the reason why we are seeing growth on hash rate on the Monero.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. High performance blockchain, kind of a for me, unfortunately. We'll see what comes when they launch mainnet and what their hardware looks like. I'm just really curious about what their proprietary hardware is going to look like for running a node, and that seems like a huge uphill struggle. But yeah, I'll be back next week for some more FA, maybe more often too. I'm gonna talk to the guys at CWN, see if I can get more segments or whatnot. But I love doing the guest spot here. Always fun. Love the community here. All you guys are great.
Yeah, we love having you.
Yeah, thanks, man. And yeah, if you're interested in more fundamentals, I stream about it over my stream, Twitch TV/CoolCrysis. I do that every single day. If anyone is interested. But yeah, thanks, guys. Take her easy, and good luck on those markets.